Hey you, it's Reese, and we are back with another video. I am outside again. It is early in the morning. That I would record outside because it is a nice peaceful morning. All I need is a cigarette to go with my iced coffee, but I don't smoke anymore, so there goes that. But it's pretty outside, and hopefully the birds won't interrupt my recording, and I don't wake anyone up recording because everyone's still asleep. But today we are going to be talking about save me from saving me, or save me from trying to save me. This is a video I was going to do last week, but I am doing it this week. So hope you guys enjoy. Let's get on into the video. Okay, so I don't even know why I'm recording outside, because the way I have to angle my camera to see me, you can't even see the background, you can't even see the pond, lake, whatever. But I'm just gonna stay out here anyway. You already know we're gonna jump into prayer. Definitely gonna need prayer on this one too, because I did not write anything for this one. I felt prompted to do this from the heart and not have to go off of whatever I wrote, scripted, whatever. So let's see what he has me say today about save me from trying to save me. All right, let's jump into prayer. If you don't want to do prayer, go ahead and fast forward. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today. Thank you for blessing us to see another day. Thank you for watching over us as we slept. I pray for all the viewers that are watching this today, or whatever day that they may be watching it, that you come and bless them where they are, dear Lord, that you meet them where they are at this specific moment in time. I pray for whatever the trauma or situations or circumstances or just bad events that may have taken place in their life up to this point, dear Lord, whether past or recent, dear Lord, that you meet them where they are, that you speak to them in the most profound way, that they hear your voice and that they hearken to your voice, dear Lord, that they are able to receive the peace and the grace and the mercy and the love that you have set aside just for them, dear Lord. You bless us with peace and grace each and every morning, fresh every morning, dear Lord, to deal with whatever we have to deal with for the day. Sometimes it feels like whatever you gave us may not be enough for that day, or it's wearing out towards the end of the day. But as long as we come back to you and seek you in your presence, dear Lord, that you refill our cup, dear Lord, that you restore our fragile and broken minds and hearts and souls, dear Lord. So again, I thank you for this day. I pray for all the viewers that may be watching, that you meet them where they are. I pray for their families, their finances, their marriages, their jobs, their careers, whatever that they need prayer for, dear Lord. I pray for that for them. I pray that you bless our family as we are out here. I pray that you bless us to travel home safely, dear Lord. And I just thank you. I thank you for all your love, your mercy, and your grace that you bestow on us each and every day, though we do not deserve. So I thank you, and I say these things and all things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. May they be according to your will and your way. Amen. All right, so today, save me from trying to save me. I initially wanted to do this video to kind of talk about how we try or think we can save ourselves, whether it be from the situation, whether it be from someone else, hurt, pain, whatever the case may be. And I'm not talking about, protect ourselves and, you're leaving the club or, driving with someone that's drunk and you're like, no, I'm not going to drive with you. That's you saving, you, but save you from yourself. Things that you do, things that you think, things that you speak that could harm you. And it may be an outward expression to someone else, but it still ends up coming back to haunt you. So that is what I wanted to speak about today, because I used to struggle with this a lot. I still struggle with it today, but not as bad as I did Thank God, because I used to be really bad. I would say things that, you trying to break up with me, I'm gonna break up with you first. I think you coming for me, I'm gonna cuss you out first. I think you trying to be shady, I'm gonna be shady first. And it was an attempt to defend and protect myself. I had a saying back then. I have the I ain't no punk syndrome, which was I'm sweet and I'm nice, but don't mess with me because I'll let you know who you messing with, and I will go to any extreme in attempt to let you know I'm not the one you mess with. And I would have definitely used a different word back then, but I'm not the one to mess with. Don't mess with me because I'm a little bit off, and we'll all go to jail, or we'll all die, or something will happen to all of us. Just to let you know, don't mess with me. I'm not the one. So I definitely don't go to that extreme anymore. I definitely do not, because that's very toxic behavior. Not saying the behavior I have now isn't toxic, but that was extreme toxic behavior. So some of the things that again that I used to do, I guess I used to be kind of somewhat on a stalker tip, obsessed with the need to know. If I had an unction, or if I had a woman's intuition, or if I felt something wasn't right, or you were up to something, I'm gonna snoop it out. And I wasn't a private detective, and I'm not a PI now. I didn't get paid for it, and I don't get paid for it now. I don't do it as much as I used to do, but sometimes I still do it just to, I guess, see if I'm right, or reassure myself that I'm right or wrong. But I would, look through phones, look through text messages, sneak around and, hunt you out and, creep and stuff and see what you're doing and stuff. And yes, I'm talking about saving me from mostly relationships, because that's where I have the most difficult time at. And though I do it in friendships and stuff, not, the stalker stuff, but I overanalyze and I overthink everything. So if I think you're mad at me, then I'm trying to think of, what I may have said or done to make you upset with me, so, I can apologize. Or if I don't think I did anything wrong and I think that's what you're mad at, then I'm like, oh, well, you can stay mad because I didn't do anything. But because I tend to overanalyze and overthink everything, and I mean everything, I just look into things too deep. It caused me, and still does to a certain extent, to mess up my relationships or to cause me more pain. And who wants to have more pain? I don't want more pain. So it was really hard for me to rationalize things. And then if I did find out I was right about things, I would flip out because I was so hurt. And I go into that with, my rage and domestic violence videos. But I'd be so hurt. And it's like, what part of that did you cause? What part of you needing to know? Not saying that, oh, if I never looked, I never would have found out, so I could have been blissfully ignorant. That's not what I'm saying. But God makes you aware of things in His time. So if you're being done wrong, take it to Him. First of all, He can protect you way better than you can protect yourself anyway. And He can do it. He does it better, and He does it in His own way, and your hands get to stay clean. But I never took it to God. I would take it upon myself, and I didn't have as close a relationship with God as I do now. So it wasn't even a thought to me to take it to God. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna handle this. And so me looking for stuff, a close friend of mine said, you're stopping the action possibly. You're possibly stopping the action, but you're not stopping the want. If they wanted to cheat on you and you found out they were texting or you stopped them from going wherever they wanted to go, or they came home, super late in the morning, and you hit them up before they even made it home. You didn't get to see how late they would have made it home. You didn't get to see how far they would have took this, or how far they would have took that, or where those text messages led to, or if you would have found out, or excuse me, if they would have told you. You're not stopping the want. So you're protecting yourself from the action possibly, but the want is the issue. That's the thing that you have the issue with, because just because you possibly stopped them from doing something doesn't mean they didn't want to do it or they still don't want to do it. So what are you really saving yourself from? Nothing. And then that leads to become, to me, a fake relationship. If you have to stop a person from doing something, or make them feel bad for wanting or doing something, if you want to cheat on me and you cheat, then you cheat, and I leave. If you want to continue to lie and you think lying is okay, then the relationship's done. And of course, in marriage, it's different when it comes to other things other than cheating, because you are justified to leave in a marriage if you cheat, or if they cheat. But you're not really saving yourself from anything, and that should make you feel, I have to keep tabs on you in order for you not to do me wrong. That's not a relationship. What kind of relationship is that? So, and there's been times that I've been trying to save myself, and I was wrong. And I ended up looking like a complete fool, like what you were thinking wasn't even right, which also hinders the relationship, because they're like, you are tripping. I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't doing that. What happened, that's whatever you thought happened, that's not what happened. And again, I've done this in other relationships, not just romantic relationships. And because I would let my thoughts run wild, I didn't have control of my thoughts. I didn't have control of my emotions. And, if I was wrong, then I'd be like, oh, I'm wrong. Okay. But I never thought to get help. I don't even think I thought I needed help. It was just, I got strong intuition. Sometimes I'm wrong. That's not the case. Letting your thoughts run wild like that is not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for your relationships. So I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to be rambling in this video. I have 3 strongholds right now. 3. So I told you in previous videos, I stopped drinking. I don't smoke anymore. I work out 5 days a week. So I got over the smoking hurdle. I got over the drinking hurdle. I got over the not wanting to work out hurdle. Those areas I'm pretty good, even though the desire is still there sometimes, but I'm able to fight. I'm able to fight not wanting to work out. I'm able to fight wanting a cigarette or wanting to drink. And hopefully you can still see me with the sun in the back of me. But my strongholds right now, that is extremely frustrating, and I go to God about it every day. I have a specific prayer for these things every day. Help me, Lord, because it's a stronghold and I don't know how to release myself from it. Pastor Mike Todd has a series out called Cuffed, and it's, what are you cuffed to? And a lot of stuff he's talking about, I'm like, yeah, I'm most definitely cuffed. So some of these things are a little bit embarrassing, but if my transparency causes someone to, if it helps someone, or even just to know, like, hey, you're not the only one that struggles with these things, then that's what I'm here for. Okay, so my 3 strongholds right now are my mind, of course, my mind, my husband, and food. Those are my 3 strongholds. Those are the things that are driving me to be like, Lord, fix me. I can't go to the peaks you want me to go if you don't fix these 3 areas. And I am trying. I am trying to fix these areas, and it's so hard because it's your mindset. You can stop the behavior. You can stop the actions. And this is what I heard Pastor Daniel said. You can stop the behavior, but because it's still you, because it's still in you, because it's in your mind, it's your mindset, you're going to go right back to it. You can lose all this weight. You can go on these diets. You can, do all these things, and you're going to gain all the weight back because you're going to go back to the food. And I've done that so many times. And again, I'm struggling with that right now. Like, God, why do I have such a problem dropping this food? I drop cigarettes. I drop drinking. What is my issue with food? Why can't I just be like, Sharice, no, it's not good for you. And it's not. Sharice, no, eating at this time isn't good for you. You are maintaining your weight only because of food. If it wasn't for the food, your workouts you'd be losing weight and not just maintaining it. And I don't want to just maintain weight. I want to lose weight. So the food is a huge issue for me, and it's a struggle, and it's been very frustrating. My mind, my thoughts. Again, my thoughts aren't as bad as they used to be, but they're still there. And thank God for my pastor, Pastor Conway Edwards, pastor of One Community Church in Plano, Texas. He did a sermon, I think last Sunday, and I looked for a picture. I think it was Philippians 4:8, and God tells you the things that you should be thinking of. So I put that on my phone. It's on my wallpaper. Put a picture here or here, wherever it fits, like maybe right here. But to remind me what you should be thinking of. If you're having these thoughts, these different scenarios of things that could have happened, you don't know it's true. It's not true until God tells you it's true or you prove that it's true. So don't think about it. So it just says, whatever's true, whatever's honorable, whatever's pleasing, whatever, or is it pleasing? I don't know. Again, I'll post it right here. So I have to remind myself the things that I can think of when my thoughts wander and my mind wanders to these, I call it doomsday scenarios that I have of the future, what could happen, what's the outcome. So in my last video, I said that a couple of scenarios I was thinking of, I was wrong. I was wrong, and I was happy to be wrong because the scenarios I thought weren't good. I was like, oh my God, like that's what he's doing. And my husband and I are apart right now. He's in Texas, and the kids and I are in Florida visiting my mom. Again, there's some things going on in my marriage that I don't care to discuss right now because we are at a fragile state, and I don't think I am released to speak of those things right now. So I'm going to leave that on hold until I can speak about things. So and I'm going to let you know and give you some examples. I don't want to give these examples, but again, if it helps someone, I'm going to go ahead and give them. And my husband's probably going to end up watching this video. Yes, I thought these things. You know how my mind works. I'm not saying it's an excuse and you should be okay with it, but it's just, I'm working on it. And he has his own issues that he needs to take to God. I'm not here to talk about him. I'm here to talk about me and what I struggle with in hopes that it'll help someone. So one scenario, he was driving. He had took my aunt actually home because she got a flat tire. And so, it was a Friday. He took time out of his weekend or whatever he could have been doing, resting from work and stuff like that. But he took my aunt home since she got a flat tire. So he called me on his way home, and we were talking a little bit. And then so after a few, then he goes, okay, well, I'm going to get back to this music. So, I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, okay. So after we hang up, I was like, music. He's never hung up with me before over needing to get back to his music. And if he's tired, if he's falling asleep and needs to hear the music, I'm talking to you, I should be able to keep you awake. And then I'm like, is it music, or he does have to pass my daughter's house to get home from dropping my aunt off? Could he be calling her dude and seeing if he has something going on so they can go out or something like that? So I texted him and I was like, was it music or a phone call? And he texts me like music, and he texts me, his screen, and I'm like, that's just a picture anyway. Like you could have took that picture and be like, yeah, I'm listening to music. So that didn't really do me nothing. So But I had to pray on that thought. Sharice, let it go. Let it go, Sharice. You're not about to do this to yourself. You're not about to not go to sleep wondering if he was trying to go out or not. So the next day I'm thinking, you know, when I talk to my daughter, she's going to say something like, oh yeah, Cheche came over, or, you know, Cheche called Rock to see da-da-da-da. Nothing. Nothing. I was wrong. Another scenario was for what holiday just passed? I think Memorial Day or something. Excuse me. So I'm in Florida again with the kids. There's really nothing here to do. My mom lives out in the boondocks, and you know, gas is crazy high right now, so I wasn't about to try and travel anywhere. I don't really try and go anywhere unless, you know, I have to, or have the gas money to go. So I took the kids to the pool, and I hadn't really heard from him that day. Heard from him in the morning, and then he said, you know, he'll call or talk to us later. So I hadn't really heard from him, and it had been some hours, and I'm like, okay, like, why haven't you called? Like, it's getting later in the day. So when he finally calls, no, he didn't call. Daughter called, and they were leaving the lake where they went, because I'm thinking, oh, he went to the lake with them and he's just chilling, having himself a good old time with no wife and kids, and wow, just kind of forgot all about calling the kids. And you know, it's getting late, you could at least call them and talk to him for a couple minutes. I don't care what you were doing. So you know, my panties got all tied up in a bunch, and so she called me, and she's telling me, you know, how they are returning, you know, the jet skis or whatever that, you know, they rented and all this other stuff. And so I had said something. She's like, yeah, Cheche didn't come. She's like, I'm surprised he didn't come. And I was like, yeah, how you feel now, Sharice? He didn't even go. You're thinking all these thoughts about him having all this fun and doing all these things, and he didn't even go. And so when he did call, he was like, hey, you know, I woke up, I did this, da-da-da-da. Woke up late, I was tired, went back to sleep, you know, woke up again, did, you know, showered, da-da-da, and, you know, now I'm calling you guys. I'm like, oh, he was tired. He was tired and wanted some peace and rest, and that's why he didn't call. So that was another situation that was wrong, and I'm sorry if I'm taking a long time in this video. I really don't want it to be that long, so I'm trying to hurry up with what I'm trying to say. Was there another scenario? I think there was another scenario. This wasn't really with my mind going wild or crazy, but it's God had to do a self-check on me. And I think it was the weekend, and he had only called once. He didn't call earlier. And so I'm thinking in my head, like, you know, you're only calling your kids once. Like, you haven't seen them. They see you every day, all day, especially the baby. You know, that's her man. That's not even my husband. That's her man. But I'm like, you don't want to talk to them more than once a day? Like, okay. And then God had to be like, he didn't say anything to me, but he put it on my mind. When Sarai was in Florida with your mom a few summers ago, she was blowing up your phone, and you were like, stop calling. I'll talk to you later. Stop blowing up my phone. Because you didn't want to be on the phone like that. And it's not because you don't love her, and it's not because you didn't want to see her, but it's like, you're not just going to sit on the phone all day. I had to be like, okay, let me shut it. So God had to check me. So it's just little things like that. My thoughts go crazy. They wander. And it's hard to bring them back sometimes. And then, the one last scenario was he went to his friend's house. And I don't know this friend, but and it could be my mind, it could be my thoughts. I've never met him, I've never, met him. I've seen him before, but I never met him. And I'm just like, I don't know this dude. I don't know what be happening at his house. I don't know what type of people he hang out with, if he's a stand-up dude or not. Like, but he went over there. And so my mind starts wondering, even though I'm like, okay, he just moved, he's unpacking and stuff. And The dude's making food, making tacos. He's gonna get some food, Sharice. Like, he's gonna chill and get some food and watch the fight. Like, stop tripping. And so, because I did start to trip, I was like, God, why am I tripping? I'm tired of doing this. And my husband isn't the only person I've had this behavior with. He's the one that my behavior's been this obsessive and controlling and hard to fight these feelings that I have. I've had these issues in other relationships, and that's why I know it's a me issue, because you know, if I was in another relationship with anyone else, I would still have these issues. I don't know if they'd be as bad, but I would still have them because I've had them. So I had to ask God, like, and I've looked up this stuff before. That's why I did the video with separation anxiety, rejection, abandonment. And it stems from childhood, but now it's spilled over into, you know, other relationships, which is toxic, and it's not healthy for me or him or, you know, whoever I was with. So I looked some things up on how to cope with these thoughts that I'm having. And so I looked up some stuff, and man, they gave it to you. It was a forum, like, of people answering this person's question, like, why do I get so upset? Da, da, da. And I've already looked up stuff and researched it, so I know what I struggle with, what I'm suffering from. But I didn't look up on how to cope with things. So one person was like, because you're a controlling person and you don't want them to have fun without you. And da, da, da. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then another person was like, because you are insecure and, you know, they have to have friends outside of you and da, da, da. And I was like, oh, okay. And one was like, because you're scared they're going to leave the relationship and da, 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 which was in, you know, my other video, the separation, whatever video. So I was already aware of that. So some of these people answering this person's question, I'm like, dang, y'all kind of harsh, but sometimes you need it. You need it harsh. You need it. A gut punch. So it definitely wasn't too thrilled or happy about what they were saying. But one person went on there saying, you know, it's more common than you think, and these are ways to cope with that. You know, you reaffirm yourself, you give yourself positive affirmations. So I started thinking to myself, okay, what do you struggle with? You struggle with abandonment, you struggle with rejection, you struggle with separation anxiety. So I had to start telling myself, Sharice, he's not abandoning you. He's not rejecting you. It's okay to be separated. And it wasn't, and then it started with him, then it turned into God. Because if you put it on a person and say something does happen, or you just don't want to put your faith in man. And that's any man, because we all are capable of doing hideous things, even if, you know, it's not our intentions. So then I had to start putting it on God. God hasn't abandoned you. He hasn't left you. God, you're not separated from him. So if you feel alone and you feel separation anxiety from, you know, someone else not being around, God is always there with you. And then I had to tell, you know, myself, you love you. You're a beautiful person. Who wouldn't want to be around you? Which is true. I mean, I'm funny and I'm fun, and, you know, I could be a little bit corny sometimes and loud, but people like being around me, so yeah. But anyway, so I had to start reaffirming myself, and it actually did make me feel better, and I got to sleep that night without worrying about what time he was going to get home. And even though that, you know, has been a cause of concern before, but I was able to go to sleep like, Sharice, good night. We're not about to do this to yourself. We're not about to do this again. You've done this for so many years. You're not going to keep doing it. It's a miserable feeling. Who wants to feel like that? I don't. So those are some of the examples. And again, it's a little embarrassing spilling the beans, giving you all those details and stuff, but if it helps someone. So is there anything else I needed to say in this video that might help someone? You can never save you. You can't. That's God's job. You could try, and that even comes with pride. You know, you having the pride to be like, oh, I'm not going to apologize, or, you know, I'm not going to do this for this person, or, you know, And even with small things, I washed the dishes already. They want to put dishes in the sink. I'm not about to wash those dishes. Where you think I'm a maid? We're called to be servants. And sometimes God will put you in a season where you're just serving. I hate those seasons. I hate those seasons. But I'm learning to just be like, whatever you say, God, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it because you asked me to, and I love you, and I want to do it for you, even if I don't want to do it for them, or even if I just don't want to do it, not even because of who the person is. It's just, I'm going to do it for you because I love you. So stop trying to save yourself. I'm sure you may be doing a horrible job. I've been doing a horrible job, like tremendously, just horrible job. I mess things up more than I resolve or solve things. And sometimes it's just surface me saving me. I'm not even getting down to the issue why I feel like I need to save me, or the things that come up to where I have to save me from. I'm not even getting to the bottom of it because I'm trusting me to save me, and I haven't been able to do it this far. And then people may tell you, oh, I don't have those issues, or I can save me. Okay, there'll be certain times, certain things that come up to where you're not going to be able to save you. You won't. And you're going to go crawling to God where he wants you. But he didn't want all that stuff to happen for you to come to him. He wanted you to come just because you were okay. He didn't want you to have to come crawling to him because you absolutely need him. There's nothing else you can think of to do but to go to God. He wants you to come to him before that. He wants you to prepare you for the times that you feel like you just can't make it, because he wants to show you can. Before that time happens, he wants to show you can make it, and that he loves you, and that he's there for you, and he'll never leave you nor forsake you. He wants to give you his love. He wants to show you how he feels about you, what he thinks about you, so that you could think that way about yourself, so that you're not selling, so that you're not compromising, so that you are not causing harm to yourself or letting others cause harm to you. So pray for me and my 3 strongholds: my mind, releasing the crazy negative thoughts I have when it comes to my husband or just relationships, and food, because those are my 3 strongholds. And those are the things that I have really been struggling with, to just kind of release and let God move and work through me and work for me, because I'm tried so hard to save myself from pain, to save myself from hurt, because I didn't want to feel that hurt. So I'm going to stop it before it possibly happens. And that's a lot of the reasons why I have always tried to save me, is because I don't want to feel that pain. And just thinking about that pain makes me want to cry, because that pain can be compared to physical pain. Like when your heart hurts like that, your brain receives that pain as if you were physically hurt. So when people say, they're hurt because they're heartbroken or whatever, like they are hurting. And even if it wasn't from a heartbreak, I still think about that pain possibly happening, and I do things to intercede, or, no, this can't happen, because I don't want to feel that pain. I don't even want to think about possibly feeling that pain. But you're going to go through pain in life. It's inevitable. Jesus says it. You're going to have trials and tribulations. Take heart, because he has overcome the world. You're going to go through pain. You're not going to always be able to stop yourself from going through pain. So just accept it. Embrace it. Hey, God, what are you doing in this season? And sometimes the pain is self-inflicted. You can't even blame God or the devil. Sometimes you do it to yourself. So take accountability and responsibility for that. But you're not going to be able to avoid pain. Take it to your Father. Ask him how you handle things, how you deal with things, how he wants you to handle things and deal with things. What does he want you to learn? What does he want you to teach? What is he having you go through that could be a testimony that helps someone else not have to go through that, or helps someone else heal through their pain? You never know. So again, sorry, this was a lengthy video as well, but I hope it helped. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I always say it at the end, but maybe that tells you or goes to show that I don't really care about the views and stuff. I care about the impact. If it is impacting, that's all I care about, because God is on a move to heal and make his people whole. Get healed, get whole. Don't just get healed, get whole. And yeah, talk to you later. Oh, but remember, please remember, God loved you then. God loved you then. No matter what you did back then, he loves you now. No matter what you may be doing right now, and he'll love you in the future. No matter what you may do in the future, God loves you. Remember that. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Bye.